live? Well, that's the sound of my email going, you're live, so let's say that we are. So, we're working on a industrial controller from a cat forestry machine. We've been doing 2 previous streams on this thing. It's very poorly built. This is the main board for it. It's held together with all kinds of tape and crap and loose parts everywhere. I've rigged up for a test run. We've been just cleaning this thing up, previously cleaning corrosive glue, replacing capacitors. Most of that stuff is done, and I want to take a moment to see if this thing is going to behave better than it was before. I've never test run this thing outside of the machine in its fully assembled form. You have never seen this thing run. I think I figured out the pin out for the power is just 2 pins on this DB15, and yeah, hopefully we're going to be getting some picture on here. So this is the display assembly and brace for the horror that is the inside of it. So let's go through this. We have power for the inverter here, which is just kind of soldered onto random points of the PCB. We have a bodge diode, a bodge resistor, and another bodge power resistor here, and like wire. Oh, there's another one under the display signal cable. We also have a tape together with original stock cat approved painter's tape connected for the front panel. We have a tape together adapter for the touchscreen. This is like, there's a bit of PCB here to like convert a flat flex cable into this. This is the charging cable for the integrated keyboard. We won't be needing that. And of course, this is the all-important display cable, which also has like an adapter at the end, which could be causing issues. If this looks really bad, we might have to take this apart and have a look inside. It's really difficult to get apart because the whole thing, the touchscreen and the display, just fall apart. We do have a new, well, second-hand display in this, which should work. This part should be in decent order. I've gone through it off stream, so hopefully we don't have an issue in this thing. As far as the main board goes, I've cleaned it up a bit off camera, just more of the same as we've been doing the last few days. Cleaned up the corrosive glue, had a look underneath the battery. I've actually got a new coin-cell battery going for this thing. It's a rechargeable model. Thankfully I could source one locally. And yeah, we've replaced all the caps, brand new. These guys I had a bit of issues with. They're originally 470 microfarad 50 volts. They're straight across the 24 volt supply. I used a couple of 35 volt caps there. Should never get that high. They're not going to live for too long if it's noisy and spike, but I think it's going to be good enough for this thing. So yeah, let's just wire this up and see how it goes. I'm starting to get a bit worried that this thing might have a failed graphics chip, because this PC module here has a very integrated ancient display controller in it, which just has, it's one big BGA with the display RAM and video acceleration, everything in one package. That sounds a bit dodgy. So if we still have bad image, we're going to have to like try heating and cooling that and see if that makes a difference. This thing has not been very well cooled. This heatsink on the 266 MHz Pentium CPU is bigger than the original, and there's just a puny little fan blowing over it, so this thing has been running hot. Chat says the sound is good. People are showing up. Hello everyone. People are complaining about there's no hot glue in this thing. This thing's too old for hot glue. It's from the 90s. John's touchpad has shown up. Hello, how are you? I'm just fine. Haven't seen you around before. Welcome. So, oh god, that's an uncomfortable close-up of my face, isn't it? So, visible display connector. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to get this thing to show up. We don't have the disk drive installed. I don't want to boot it into its OS at all. It runs Windows 95. We don't need to be messing with that any more than we absolutely have to. I still need to take a backup of the drive in it because I don't trust a like 90s mechanical hard drive anymore. Yeah, we really should only need these power connectors for the LCD backlight and this flat flex for the LCD signal. So let's just get some booze in these guys and see what happens. This thing should be pretty easy to get up and running. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to show anything on the camera, but that's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. Can put some tape on the exposed power resistor there, just because I think this is like across the power supply, maybe? I don't know why. But we don't want to short it against something important anyway. Beautiful. John's touchpad is asking any update on your batteries and solar. No, that stuff is stagnating and I don't want to look at it. I don't have enough solar panels to make it profitable. Alright, so can we monger this in? So this is going to be a bit of a ballet, I think. Getting everything to line up. So that should be everything hooked up, except for power supply. And I made a note of that here. So that would be a couple of pins on this connector. We probably need 24 volts at 4 amps to power this thing. I'm wagering it's gonna be quite power hungry, being like in mid-90s PC. Although I'm gonna start by just putting a tiny bit of current into it, just to make sure we're not hooked up in reverse or something. These leads aren't really optimal for this actually. Do I have some small ones? We need something that's not going to short out in the connector. Whoops. It's fine. We didn't. I was afraid we were going to rip the flat flex valve, but we didn't, so it's fine. This thing has seen much worse mechanical abuse than that. Certainly very professionally done by me. Oh well. So we have positive on the wider side and negative on the narrow side. These clamps are rather knackered, actually. Is this even going to work? Yeah, that works. This is going to be a quick test. I think we're going to have to solder some wires on the capacitors in this thing to like actually access the display. I just want to see if we can get it to power on a negative valve. narrow side. Okay, so let's just give this thing a bit of juice. Let's see, what is it going to do? It's drawing quite a bit of current. Let's give it 0.1 volts at 130 milliamps. We just short-circuited. We should not be short-circuited. Well, this thing is definitely not playing along. That's odd. I'm quite sure. My pin out? Oh, I'm at the wrong end of the connector. Let's just grab my note and put it right next to that. Oh yeah, we were short-circuited because I connected it to ground and ground. No wonder. Okay, let's not make silly mistakes again. See, that's why you start with a very low current test. Because if I'd done like full 24 volt truck battery to that, it could have made something go on fire. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, it actually charges up the caps. We're getting 4 volts at like very low current, so let's give it like 1 amp, see what that does. 6 volts at 1 amp. Do we get like display turn on? Yeah, that's the display inverter turning on. So it's going to use quite a bit of power. I'm confident in just giving it a full 4 amps now. So this should cause the PC to turn on. You're not going to see anything, I'm sorry. 800 milliamps. And it still has horrible noise on the picture. This thing is not performing any better than it did the day I got it, which is sad. Quite sad. It's just got a horrible horizontal noise. Basically, it's completely unusable. If I poke around on this flat flex, the noise changes. We could have failed flat flex. Like, I wonder if it's because I'm bending it or because I'm like capacitively close to it. It's because I'm bending it. Sorry you can't see this, but there is, or maybe we can. Yeah, no, that's just not gonna align. Yeah, there's no easier way for me to show it, but we have a white line on one side of the screen that's noisy and horrible, and I can change the size of a line by poking this cable. I can make it worse by pressing there. It could be because it's like capacitive coupling to a case too. Fiddling with the computer PCB doesn't do anything. Only mucking about with a cable does something, like pressing it against the case with my fingers there. It's making a huge difference. So I think we might need to actually take this display module apart and investigate that flat flex. What happens if I muck around with the inverter power supply? Actually, let's see what happens if we just disconnect the inverter power supply. If there's like bad capacitors on the inverter, causing there to be a lot of noise getting coupled to the metal inside the display. I need more hands. Let's just turn this on again. The noise is still there. So it's unlikely to be the inverter. Oh, that sucks. I was cautiously optimistic about that. People in chat are asking to see the distortion. Well, I'd love to show you, but it's not all that easy with this setup. Or maybe, let's see if we can maybe get it on one of the cameras for educational purposes. If we do it like so. And do it like so. The issue is there's a bunch of metal on the case that I don't want to short up against the internals of a PC. But this might work. Let's also see my ass as a bonus. I can kind of see it. There is a tracer text here there, but we have this is like the offset of the pixels, and if I poke the flat flex, you can see it gets better or worse. That's just me messing with a flat flex. I haven't seen a fellow made like this before. Where's my camera upside down again? Oh, I know why. There we go. So, that's the issue we have. Someone says move a webcam. Ha! As if I had wires that long. Every camera cable has literally stretched. But yeah, I think we need to really investigate the flat flex. It could just be the chip putting in bad data that's like deteriorated to such a point that the flat flex capacitive coupling to stuff is just becoming a big issue. But I'm not sure. It's impossible to tell unless you're super into like LVDS signal analysis or whatever interface this uses. It does the same exact thing on two different display panels though. So I doubt it's the display panel at least. So let's put the PC to the side and focus on the display assembly for a bit, which is going to be an absolute pain because I've been inside it before and it is no fun. It is absolutely positively no fun. InfoChat is diagnosing the screen with all kinds of things. Again, this screen is replaced. It is used, but it was supposedly pulled from a working environment, some kind of hotel lobby display, and it displays the same exact symptom as the original display in this, despite being like much newer. The original display is from, 2003 or so, and the replacement display I think is from 2008. So it would strike me as odd if both displays suffered the same exact failure mode. We also do have this amazing pass-through. I don't want to take this thing apart. It is horrible. Because the touchscreen is going to separate from the rest. And the touchscreen has a wire with this. Let's disassemble this piece of chaos and see if we can just disconnect it. So we don't have to pull this big connector through. Better. Let's remember which way around that goes. The touchscreen does work, so marquee. The touchscreen does work, so we don't need to ruin that. Can we get rid of this tape? Ugh. Fucking masking tape. Fucking masking tape. People are talking about termination resistors on the computer side. That could be something worth investigating. Okay, that's not coming apart nicely. Well, what's this is? Well, people in the chat are saying that we should look more at the computer, so let's make this a team effort and look at the computer again. Because I don't want to take this thing apart. It's painful. It's a bad experience that I don't want to go through again. We do have a bunch of identical components in a row going to the interconnect there, so we can just look at each of those and see if any of them stand out. So all of those are labelled for 33 ohms. Ohms. Looking too good thus far. We have more of them here though. Ah, it seemed not happy, but it is happy. That looked a bit iffy actually in the solder joint. Could have been just the potting compound and flux residue on this board. Oh, there's a bunch more of them that we can have a look at. These probes aren't super sharp. Come on. SDTTN asks, what is this device? It is like a control computer for a big cat, like forestry machine. But yeah, those resistors all look fine, sadly. We have a bunch of decoupling caps there as well, which we can take a look at. Or we can't because there's too much other stuff going on there. Yeah, that's not going to work. Just in parallel with the resistors, maybe. No. Oh, let's try with the magical ESR meter. I don't think it's going to make a difference. They are too small values to show up on that, but we'll give it a go. Reading 0. Reading 0. No one's surprised. So we have cleaned the connector up. It can be an issue with like a broken via on the PC board because there was a bunch of corrosive glue around the area of the display connector. Edward Hartman says, it's definitely going to be something with a sync signal with it glitching out, but only at the side of the screen. Yeah, some sort of timing issue, bad signal quality, that sort of thing, but that can be caused by so many different things. But yeah, since that path saddler let us know, I'm going to go back to taking a look at the flat flex cable and the connector it goes to. Just measuring up the flat flex could be valuable. We basically are on a wild goose chase here. Since we don't really know. ITT Fam is asking, what is driving the display interface? It goes directly into a chips branded something something. Let's see what it was. Oh, there we go. I have a datasheet here. I'll just link the datasheet in the chat. It comes from that. Let's get this horrible thing apart again. I don't think we actually need to undo those. My biggest fear is accidentally lifting over the touch screen, because that is really difficult to line up. Someone is asking me to read the datasheet out loud. No, I'm not going to do that. I will do that if you pay me, you know, what I make from fixing things for doing it. Otherwise, I will not. I can see the touchscreen, which is literally just placed in there. It is just placed in there. And here is the official window sealing material for holding it in place. Window gaskets, like this kind of thing you use on a house. No, wait, we access the display panel from this side with Posse 1 screws. RTT Fami says, let's hope it's the flat flex and not that thing, referring to the display driver IC. Yeah, if it is the display driver IC, I just have to call this customer and say like, hey, sorry, this thing is not repairable. It's beyond economical repair. Just get a new one for 3,000 euros. Sorry. So visible display assembly. This thing again recently replaced. Shouldn't be anything wrong with it, except for some wear and tear on like the backlight. I couldn't figure out how to power the original device, so I don't know how to. I can't say for absolutely certain that this display is good. However, we have more cosmic horrors here. Ugh. All this masking tape. All this horrible corrosive glue. I think we need to unfold this flat flex and really have a close look at it. Or at least measure it up, check that the connector is soldered fine. I actually don't think I checked this for the first time around. There's like moisture in this thing. So that's going to be the issue the whole time, moisture. Gondoler is fogged, Mr. Customer. The race in FF. Ha, someone says in chat, that's hilarious. Toothpick. So, I thought that was flux residue, but it's not. It's actually flowing liquid. We have flowing liquid in the display connector. It's not isopropyl alcohol, it's not cleaning fluid. I'm not sure what it would be. I don't think there was any conductive glue on this. This is certainly, possible cause of failure. How are these solder joints looking? The connector is quite clean. A flat flex side. These solder joints look quite happy thus far. Last one's a tiny bit grimy, but these look fine. I would not suspect failure from them. Hello there, conductive glue. How very nice to see you. So, here we actually have a conductive path between two pads under this, random plastic piece they have just glued in there as a spacer because the thing wouldn't fit properly. 3,000 euro controller. 3,000 euro controller. So let's fix this before I have an aneurysm. Let's see what we have underneath here. Is it going to be fluid? Hey, we have note the fluid from the glue right there. Ugh. So that was for hiding. Okay then. A jumper. Edward Hartman says, I wonder if this was the first model to have computer control. I don't think this is good enough to qualify as a model, to be frank. It's like a prototype. We have some hairs from the production facility as well. Hello, pube. Let's be a bit critical. Let's see if there's any conduction between those pads actually. No. That trace isn't even broken. Well, this does look horrible. It doesn't look like a failure. It's just like almost failure. Sadly, almost failure isn't good enough because this thing is experiencing complete failure. We need something to make us go, aha, there's your problem. Let's take a picture of that and get rid of it, the like copper thing, and clean it up. Focus, you stupid. We'll make a new one of those. I wonder if we can just like rub this stuff with solder to make it go away. If it like melts. It kind of does. Turns into just a big mess. Oh, that was hot. I mean, that's beautiful right there. I'm not sure if this Loctite is a bait, but I don't want it. I don't want it. It's full of fluid too. Yeah. The Loctite has also turned into water. I don't trust some of these vias. I don't quite trust some of these vias. This is probably some like configuration jumpers for display panel. So if we've had conduction between these in an incorrect manner, that could cause a display to, for instance, accept for wrong input voltage. But the question is how sensitive that would be. And if what we see in here is actually bad enough to cause issues. These solder joints don't look happy at all. Not very happy, but not very sad either. This guy actually seems to have microfractures. Yep, definite microfracturing on that one. So if we look closely at this guy, you can see that we actually have a very, very thin line going right over the interface between the pin and the solder there. A very, very thin line. The question is if that's moved all the way around or not. And that is a definite crack actually. This is like a big solder crack of this guy. Right there you can see that's caused by mechanical loading. and thermal cycles. This guy too, mechanical caused crack. We are going to resolder this connector for sure. And also get the water out of it. Because I don't want water in it. You know, I don't want water in my connector. That's bad. I thought we were just gonna power the PC on and it was gonna work like new, but I was wrong and it hurts. This solder looks really crappy. Maybe we can just get rid of it. No, we can't because I don't want to melt the connector more than I have to. Where's my flux? Someone says they look like test pads to me, referring to these guys. Well, there was a couple of them. There was a jumper on one of them, so not test pad, configuration pads. These display modules I found like a very basic datasheet for them. They offer several modes of operation that are externally configurable, so you would expect configuration pads. ITT Femi says, imagine if after all this, the issue was this connector. That's not a bad thing, because the other things were also issues that should be fixed. Like, I don't want this thing to get a connector fix, then run for a year, and then the conductive glue inside the PC makes the whole thing fail again. I'd rather put this thing back in the field and never see it again. I'm a bad businessman, I know. See, my happy customers are the customers that come to me many times with different things. And if customers end up coming with the same thing over and over, they stop coming sooner or later. Of course, I can't solder this properly. It's Saturday, what do you expect? Is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday. It may or may not be Saturday. Someone is noting that we actually are missing a shit ton of termination resistors. That is so true. Socket Bugger likes my moaning chair. Here's the most annoying sound in the world. I am being informed that it is indeed Saturday. That's good. I'm bad with days. That isn't looking a bit better. Like, damn, son. The contrast. Heinrich Hein says, is it worth repairing PCBs like this because you can't get them new? Well, this is part of a controller that's at least 3,000 euros if you are to try and replace it, and replacing it also probably entails a lot of software issues. I'm probably going to be able to charge like a bit over 1,000 euros for the whole job, which isn't a lot, but like most of my business only works because I'm basically a really frugal hippie. I don't mind doing these like big complicated projects for quite cheap because I don't need much money. And it is the kind of work I like doing. So to me it's worth it to do this kind of thing while being able to get up at 4 in the afternoon and make like just enough money to get by. That's just the way I like it. And I'm doing society a service, since this forestry machine might actually get scrapped if we don't fix this. We don't know if we can even get a replacement for it. Like, that's an unknown. It might be that this is irreplaceable. Well, this is starting to look somewhat happy now. Station 240 says, and think of the YouTube revenue, all €5 of it. Indeed, if even that. But the advice I get from the chat sometimes is, it has value. It certainly has value. So this side does look fine, but you know what, we're going to resolder it anyway, just because the other side was bad. Just in case. Edward Hartman says, let's not forget about the jumper. We are not forgetting about the jumper. I say, probably forgetting about the jumper. Cock. Hey, we fixed it. Made a huge bridge. I really wish this microscope camera was a bit less crap so you could actually see the whole microscope view. I really like to get one which can both output to USB and take pictures to an SD card, but Alphonse Jean says, FF, I would let you know that you are definitely the video maker I respect the most. That's an odd thing to say. I don't see why you would respect me. But thank you. I barely even make videos. Yeah, the jumper. Quite sure it was between those two pads there. Heinrich Hein says that he has trouble with taxes in his country. Oh, trust me, I have a lot of taxes. Taxation, like every job I do for a customer and from next year onwards, is going to include 24% sales tax in the price. 24% tax. And that is before like corporate taxes and income taxes and all that. That's just an extra tax. The effective tax percentage on my work is probably going to be like Yeah, 30 to 40%. Everything included. Alphonse Jean says something about Lewis Rossmann and microscope. Didn't he like stop selling microscope cameras because it was hard? Because they got confiscated or something? I want to make sure these traces aren't destroyed. Is that right? Are you supposed to be connected there? Are you supposed to be connected there? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are great. Time for some booze. Booze in the connector. Toothpick. Never more fuzzy asked a question, then deleted it and said it was a stupid question. Why was it a stupid question? Now I'm just curious to see what it was. Whoa. Alphonse G says Lewis Rossmann has a new microscope batch, but they are cheaper on Alibaba. Oh, I see. Well, my ass scope is starting to get kind of good. I've fixed so many things on it. So I'm not going to replace this thing, I just need a new camera. Nevermore Fuzzy asks, if you got a board you repaired back in your shop covered in glue that you used to seal it, how would you remove the glue? Mechanically. Like the glue I use can't really be dissolved, it stays soft too, so you just have to blade it, use a blade, scratch it off. Let's fix our jumper. Let's use some useful, what's the word? Some lacquered transformer wire for that. The Never Sleeper asks, is this your board or a customer's? It's a customer's. I don't own a forestry machine. I don't have any forest to machine in. Snippety doo-dah. God, this camera is so sensitive to focus. Doing customer jobs like this on stream is a bit dangerous since it's very obvious to them if they were to see the stream that it's their machine and they get to see all my mistakes if they do watch the entire thing. But those are just mistakes that they would just not know about. The difference between like if they see the stream, it's just a question of them seeing the mistakes that would otherwise be hidden from them. I like to see it as a bit of an integrity thing. I will make mistakes, everyone will. And I'm not gonna deny that, I'm not gonna pretend to be some perfect angel technician. That's reasonably clean. Oh god, there are soldering irons flying everywhere. I should get a like less crap soldering iron base, because what I have is like the iron handles way more than the base, so it tips over really easily. I was going to do something. Oh yeah, I was going to take a quick look at the camera settings for a microscope, see if we can get rid of all the horrible motion blur. No, but I remember to do that. Let's give me a sec. This might go into seashore mode, by the way, because it does that sometimes. We can like double the gain. Cut the exposure in half. That's like the brightness I like to work at, so. Yeah. That should be a bit better. That's plenty better. Not too noisy even. Yeah, that's good enough. Plenty more beautiful. Look at that. No more motion blur. Never more further, says, I'm pretty sure the machine's owner just wanted running again and doesn't care how. Yeah, the problem in publicising this kind of work is if I accidentally cause some damage that is so severe that it can't be fixed, I either have to try and hide that and be like, oh yeah, it couldn't be repaired, sorry, move on. Or I just have to face up, yeah, like, yeah, sorry, I destroyed your machine. Whoops, please don't sue me. I do usually actually disclaim my work before I start going like, hey, if I touch your thing, the manufacturer is never going to want to see it again. I cannot guarantee that it will be repaired, and there is a risk that it will never work again, and that it might work worse than before. So my customers are usually understood in the risk that there might be something going wrong, the equipment might be destroyed. I'm quite ferocious about pushing that point home. Just because the nature of his work is, I can't like, if you look at Lewis Rossman, he knows how to fix MacBooks, right? He doesn't really need to disclaim his customers because whatever happens, he's got enough experience with those particular models to fix basically anything that's not a dead GPU, and I think he does this as well if he really needs to. So it's quite different when you're working with things that are different all the time. Like I'm working on this thing today and some completely irrelevant thing tomorrow. Unrelated, not irrelevant. And usually I see like 3 of each thing in my life. And I can't specialize. So I think that's a quite happy little adapter thing. Just going to put a bit of Kapton tape over the jumper so it doesn't short up against the board. And then I think we're done with this, and we can take a look at the flat flex. Kapton tape. All I need in life is Kapton tape. You are all I need, my Kapton tape. Oh, I believe in Kapton tape, but not when there's alcohol underneath it. Alvin's Gene says, worst case scenario, Lewis Rossman can just buy a new MacBook. You're working on unobtainium all the time. Exactly. But then again, I only work on things because they are unobtainium. Like, people don't come to me with things that are easy to fix. Usually. That's pretty good. There's plastic on the panel assembly anyway, so it's not gonna short out. So, the flat flex. Shh. My ears. So this looks quite sad. It's full of conductive glue. It's also full of evidence of rubbing up against things. That's so bad. Okay, back to microscope. This has definitely been rubbing up against something. All this rubbing, all this glue. Hopefully it hasn't corroded through the plastic. Pinch mark. We need to take a sample, scratch off some of this glue, and see if there's any evidence of the plastic starting to corrode away. Blades work better if you hold them the right way around. This actually looks good. However, most plastics pass liquid through them slowly. The reason this glue causes corrosion is because it turns into water. So, where it's gone all black and horrible, there has actually been water underneath the tape which might seep through the plastic into the flat flakes. And I'm not sure if it's actually sealed around the edge there. It could have a liquid penetration that way as well, but it's not very well sealed, I don't think. No, it's like several laminated pieces. Oh well, 2 laminated pieces. So the end trace here might actually have gotten some corrosion on it. Yeah, we can see that there's some brownness in between the laminated layers there. Noted. Let's just measure this thing. Oh God, this poor kid will have to break it. Ugh, that feels so bad. Sorry. I'm not going to beep test this because it might just be turning into somewhat high resistance, so we'll do manual range up to 500 ohms. Good. 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 I'm expecting most of these to be fine. Hmm. It's getting difficult around the end. And alas, this all seems fine. I am not seeing any issues with this flat flex at all. Let's see if we have any leakage between the leads. The adjacent outer leads are going to be the worst ones. Now that's fine, and this one is fine, over 50 megohms. So, I don't think this flat flex is an issue. It is merely a symptom, which is good in a way. It's annoying to repair flat flexes. Someone says maybe clean out the connector on the display as well. Well, let's do that. Although I need to take a quick break, so I'm going to give you guys the intermission. Welcome to my 2005 media record player, which plays ASF files. You get to watch a really low quality version of the Disney Channel. I'll be back in like a moment. There we go. We are back. Someone said something about copyright. If Disney wants to sue me for displaying like a 200 pixel version of some random show from God knows when, they can try. Where's changing for display? Where do I put for display? I'll put for display over there. Right. Our display is magnetic. You should not leave hard drive magnets lying around where they do not belong. So let's have a look at the connector on this. It's full of shit. That's hang on. That actually looks kind of messy and corroded from before. Actually, that does not look like something which would have happened during the time it was connected. During the time during which it was connected to this machine. Does that work grammatically? During the time under which? That sounds stupid. During the time it was connected. That has to be the correct way of saying that anyway. Well, let's not think more about that. I think it's time for the frozen toothbrush of cleanliness here, because getting a toothpick in there is just super annoying. The Disney Channel thing is actually not filmed from a television. Oh god, this has turned hard with flux. The Disney Channel thing of the media player is actually not filmed. The thing has an AV input, so somebody has connected that up to like the SCART output of their TV and recorded it using the device. It's an amazing thing. Edward Hartman says, every attempt I have made at repairing a Flatflex has ended with a major order for a replacement. Get good, turn down the temp on your soldering iron, bruh. Also, Kapton tape. Kapton tape and thin wires are your friend when you're trying to repair Flatflexes. Bzzz. I'm going to think that made the horrible fluidy stuff. Let go. Let go. God, we're infringing all the Disney copyrights today, aren't we? Well, let's see how that looks. Yeah, a bit happier. There's still like seeming corrosion on the leads, which I do not like. We can just kind of scratch it with a tweezer. Scratchy, scratchy. Yeah, this should be enough. Get rid of any possible corrosion, enough for it to work. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we could probably actually try again now, see if any of this has made a difference. I still don't think it will have. I don't think any of this has been bad enough to actually cause the kind of failure we've seen. Well, we'll give it a go. Let's fetch the PC. It's much easier to test this without the backlight unit connected. So we will disregard the backlight unit since that's attached to the whole annoying assembly. So let's get our positive and negative leads right this time around. It's really unnecessary to try and put these things on fire. Okay. No short circuits. We will use a Q-tip to prevent the short circuits. Yes. Will this flat flex wrangle itself into the right orientation to work with us? Edge of a flat flex is actually quite clean, but I did clean this the last time I was inside here, so. Well, that's completely the wrong way around. God, this is horrible. Do not do this to your flat flex. This is bad for the flat flex. Oh, we have a bunch of shit on there. Let's get rid of that. easier said than done, of course. That's super hard on there. Jesus. The toughest conductive glue thus far. Okay. That's still not in there straight. Is that the whole issue, that the connector won't go in straight? That would be silly. That would be quite silly. There we go. No, it's no longer in straight. Ah. Now it's in straight. Okay, let's make sure we are not short-circuited. We are not. So let's see what this is going to do. If we get any picture at all. If it goes on fire, we will not know. We have less noise, but still noise. Nothing has changed. Now well, let's fetch the original LCD and see if that's going to be any happier. The original LCD, which is in completely horrifying condition. Let's just clean out the connector a little bit. Someone says they're curious about the power draw of this thing. It draws about 500 milliamps at 24 volts. This also has the original window gasketing material. Maybe that's the issue. Our window gasketing material isn't the right brand. Someone says something about the display pads for rails. I have not checked those in any detail, no. I haven't really, like, this is the first time I've ever powered this on while it's been disassembled. I haven't run it before. So we just need to do more research, so let's see what happens now, in before this just works. It's blanked. I'm not seeing anything on this one. This one does have issues, I do think. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on there. I do have an inverter here, which should work. So we can just hook this up to actually get backlight. I'm not sure. I hope this is the type that just works if you put 24 volts over it. Let's see if we can figure out in a pin 8 on this. We have, I believe, positive, positive, and negative, negative. Yes. Positive, positive, negative, negative. That's easy enough. I think this thing runs on 24 volts. I don't think it runs on 24 volts because it has 25 volt cap, so this is probably 12 volts. So the original display is behaving differently. We don't need 4 amps, so we can use the other channel on the power supply to power our inverter. No prob, if I can find enough leads to do that. And we're going to have to reconfigure this a bit. Let's just get some bananas and a banana extension for our horrible current setup with the croc clips around banana plugs. And we can use our nice big banana clips for powering the inverter. Let's see if this is going to work. I know that this inverter does put out, but I don't know if it needs like an enable pin or something to be high. These things usually don't. Wait, what? I've stripped a completely stupid wrong wire on this. Why did I do that? I don't think it's R positive. I think what goes to the fuse, I'm assuming is R positive. So let's see if this thing is going to light up. It does absolutely nothing. Does it want more voltage then? 12 volts? No. Well, that sucks. What happens if we just poke that to ground? No. What a shame. I was hoping there would be easy life in this, but clearly not. Do we actually have a good connection? We do. Ah, that sucks. I don't think this thing has any pin labels either. Let's just try grinding random pins on it. See if any of them is going to turn it on. Ooh, baby. Grind my pins. Nope. Doesn't matter how many pins we grind, it's not gonna go. That sucks. Yeah, so we're gonna have to use the inverter for the actual inverter to get any light out of this. That's annoying. I'm a bit confused as to why this display is giving like nothing, while the other one gave something. I need a better flashlight for this. But all my old flashlights are broken and awful and don't work. Hey, I found a flashlight that works. Let's see. So black's the display. Yeah, what? I saw legible text there for a moment. I saw legible text there. Do we just have a blinking marker? Let's do that again. Look very closely. You don't see that, but I assure you there's legible text on this display. There is legible text on this display. Oh, God, let's just... You need to see this. It's exciting. we need more exposure. So it blanks out. Takes a while. I think it's just too dim for the camera to see it. The screen does go black, but there is a BIOS text showing. Let's just make sure we get all the exposure. All the exposure. So it blanks. There you go. The original LCD works. The replacement LCD does not work. Blanks, Phoenix BIOS 4.0. So is our replacement LCD just broken? Let's just try the replacement LCD again. Good thing I didn't toss that thing out if we're going to have to reuse it. Let's see what this does. It blanks and gives horrible fuzz. That's what we get out of that one. So it seems we got scammed. We got scammed on eBay. And my initial diagnosis was wrong. But we have achieved a PC that is capable of working, at least for the time being. And that's exciting. That is quite exciting. The display was quite cheap, thankfully, so it's not a huge loss. I'm probably not going to be able to get my money back. But thankfully we can reuse the old one. But God, like, just look at it, it's... Jeez. It's completely ruined. Like, the reason I replaced the LCD originally was, yeah, it's got display issues, the display looks like this, let's try that first. Someone asks if these displays are black and white or color. They are color. This thing looks like a normal Windows 95 laptop, basically, when it's running. We put it on. Ta-da! Beautiful. We can't see more than that because we need white pixels on the screen to see anything. ITT Fami says, don't open a dispute. Alphonse Jean says, I still think the new LCD doesn't understand the PC. Well, that's kind of... I was concerned about that when I ordered these, but I checked the datasheet. And you can do that as well if you want to. They are not the exact same model number, but they have the same datasheet. Both, they should be signal compatible. The original is an Optrex T-513D104U-FW-A-AB, and the new one is one letter off and shares the same datasheet. So that's the original right now. Why are you on auto exposure? Stupid thing. That's the original. And that's the replacement. Oh, I actually haven't checked this label. Maybe I shipped the wrong one. T5151 3D104U-FW-A-AIN. That's not what the listing said. That's not what the listing said. The listing only mentioned up until that point. So I actually don't know if this is the same, because I checked the datasheet for that LCD, not that LCD. -A-AIN, that sounds like inverted or something. Do we? Let's have a look at the PCBs. Maybe there's like a maybe there is a what's the word? Configuration jumper on the actual display PCB, which we can screw around with. We'll take the PC aside for a moment. Again, this is still a good turnout. This is better than this thing has ever worked while I've been involved with it. I have never seen a good BIOS screen. I've only ever seen horrible fussy blech with either of the screens. Like the original screen would also give the horrible white fuzziness around the edge. That is something I have seen in person. And also the horizontal, like it gives a very distorted picture. So the best I've seen previously out of the original screen was what we get out of a new screen, except there's also picture. So I'm somewhat convinced we've actually solved the original root issue, because this is an improvement. I'm super duper happy about this. But yeah, let's get this cover off and have a look if we can see. I can see there's some config stuff on the new one, which has a see-through panel. So let's just have a peek. Right, screwdriver, first try. How does this come apart? I think it's like bendy bits here holding it. That's not a flat screwdriver. If it's just like a jumper, I'm going to reconfigure the new LCD because it's still like considerably newer. I'm not sure if it... We need to... If we can get the new LCD working, we should take a look and see which one looks better. I'm suspecting the replacement might actually have more hours since it wasn't on like hotel lobby thing. A completely different PCB on this, that's for sure. Much newer. No wait, much older. Her. That's the original, that's the new one. So they're not identical PCBs. I'm not seeing any config stuff on the old one at all. It does have this extra connector there. The Never Sleeper asks, is this yours or a customer's? It is a customer's. Edward Hartman says that the difference is one is only 3.3 volts, the other is 3.3 or 5 volts. But that's J versus non-J. JU. Oh. Oh. So the V replacement. Wait, non-J is 3.3 volt only, non-J. So the original could run on 5 volts. Perhaps that's the issue. Perhaps the replacement is only a 3.3 volt thing. So I think we're just going to roll with the original display then. That is the most sane route right now. That is silly. I spent a fair bit of time looking at the datasheet for this display. I came to the conclusion that both were 3.3 or 5 volts, but if you say that it's a difference, then it is. Although I was only checking against the advertised number on the listing, which is not the same number as is on the display I actually got, which I didn't verify, of course, because I'm stupid dog. Maybe that's just the thing, I was comparing the wrong number, or I had a brain fart, I made a mistake. I'll have to double check that. But I would imagine. Hey Hartman, could you send the data sheets in the chat or in an email to ffcosag@gmail.com if you've found them? I've only managed to find like a single data sheet which covered both of these models. If you have something better, I would be very interested in seeing it. There's some solid piece of plastic that doesn't want to go where it's supposed to. There we go. Hey, come on. Stupid plastic. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, plastic. You're drunk. What is this? We need to take this back out. There's something that's gone wrong there. Blech. What's gone wrong? How is it possible for that plastic to be misaligned? there are like hand cut out pieces of plastic stuck between the panel and the metal case, I guess. Oh, they've insulated this piece of metal from the PCB. That's probably important. We probably don't want to screw that up. Where's the other piece of plastic? Never mind, we have capped on tape. Someone posted the URLs with amazing, like, 90s level spammer bot URL filtering. That's beautiful. I'll check this out. These plastic pieces are definitely not by Optrex or whatever Japanese OE they use. They are put in place by CAT to work around some stupid bug, because this is just like random. How does this go there? The chat is exploding about these displays being different. Well, I guess that explains a thing or two then. The original issue was not the display at any point in time. It was only the PC being full of conductive glue, or the adapter being full of conductive glue, or the caps being bad, or any of the like 500 issues we fixed in this thing. But in the end, it doesn't matter. The extra display, it's cheap, used, eBay trash, doesn't matter. Not a big setdown in light of the amount of work we've put into this thing, which we would have put down anyway. It's just nothing. So it's not a big problem. It's a small setback and nothing to worry about. And given the different applications these displays have had, I would wager this thing has more worn out backlight tubes, because this was some hotel lobby thing in its past life. Whereas this thing would only run while you're using the forestry machine, which sure can be a few hours a day, but compared to being on like 24/7 in a hotel, that's nothing. So I think we're going to sign off with that for tonight. I'm quite done. It's been 2 hours on a Saturday night. I want to have dinner. Ugh. And play Battlefield 2 for the rest of the night. So I'm going to have to thank you all for watching. Thanks to everyone who provided advice and tips. You have been very useful, and you have assuredly made my life a lot easier. And you've kept me nice company as well. So I'm going to take a quick look over the chat, then we're going to end this. Station 240 asks, is the LCD itself soldered directly to the driver PCB? Basically, it's like a conductive glue type thing they use. Nevermore Fuzzy seems to think that the PC uses too little current. 12 watts for a Pentium 1 MMX. It's probably a low voltage integrated model. I think it's fine. It's clearly running. That's a big jug of Koskenkorva. If I were to drink like even a sip of Koskenkorva out of this, it would kill me. I weigh 60 kilos, for fuck's sake. Everyone seems to just agree that the displays are completely different and would not be expected to work. So yeah, that's it. I'm signing off. You guys have a good night. See you around. Bye.